YouTube continues to demonetize many videos. If you like this channel, please click on my Patreon page, link in the description. Hey gamers, this is John, host of Video Games in the World, and welcome to episode 12. Today, we shall focus on the history of Jerry Lawson. It's the last day of February, which means we are entering March, which is Women's History Month. So, a lot of old school gamers like myself remember blowing our cartridges whenever they would mess up in our consoles. Well, you have this man to thank for, Jerry Lawson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, since this is the final day of Black History Month, enjoy the episode. Jerry Lawson was born in Brooklyn, New York City on December 1st, 1940. His father Blanton was a longshoreman with an interest in science, while his mother Mannings worked for the city and also served on the PTA for the local school and made sure that he received a good education. Both encouraged his interest in scientific hobbies, including ham radio and chemistry. Lawson said that his first grade teacher helped him encourage his path to be someone influential similar to George Washington Carver. Inspired by the scientists that revolutionized farming, Lawson dabbled with electronics, repairing television sets while attending high school, and he also earned money doing so. After high school graduation, Lawson attended both Queens College and City College of New York City, but did not complete a degree at either. Of course, some famous people didn't complete college or obtain a degree, but that didn't stop them from becoming rich and famous. Examples are the following: Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Michael Estelle, Evan Williams, and many more. In the early 1970s, during the rise of video gaming, well-known game consoles were the Magnavox Odyssey, TV Tennis Electronics, Home Pong, and there was the Pong Arcade, which people would play in bowling alleys and pizza parlors. Of course, we all know that Ralph Baer was the father of consoles, but Lawson would improvise in many ways, and in the mid-1970s, that's when he came into the picture in the video game industry. Lawson helped create a console known as the Fairchild Channel F. This console was a home entertainment machine created in 1976 by Fairchild Semiconductor, where he worked as Director of Engineering and Marketing. Only years earlier, Mike Markula, co-founder of Apple Computers Inc., had headed up marketing for the company. Though basic by today's standards, Lawson's work allowed people to play in a variety of games in their homes and paved the way for systems such as the Atari 2600, Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. However, things were not very swell for Lawson during his first years. For his first 5 years at Fairchild, that company and its executives actually thought he was Indian. He was also one of 2 black members of the Homebrew Computing Club, a group that famously included Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and other Silicon Valley pioneers. So many of his colleagues were surprised that he was African American, and with that experience he said the following: "With some people it's become an issue. I've had people look at me with total shock, particularly if they hear my voice, because they think that all black people have a voice that sounds a certain way, and they know it, and I sit there and go, oh yeah? Well sorry, I don't." As for how race affected his job prospects during the 60s and the 70s, Lawson told Vintage Computing it could be both a plus and a minus. If he did well, it seemed as if he did twice as well, since any accomplishment received instant notoriety. But the idea of a 6'6" black man working as an engineer was still surprising to many people. Lawson noted that some people reacted with total shock when they saw him for the first time. Jerry Lawson had a life advice for young black men and women who were interested in science and engineering, who said the following as well: "First of all, get them to consider it technical careers in the first place. That's key. even if considering the thing, they need to understand that they're in a land by themselves. Don't look for your buddies to be helpful, because they won't be. You've got to step away from the crowd and go do your own thing. You find a ground, cover it. It's brand new, you're on your own. You're an explorer. That's what it's going to be like. Explore new vistas, new avenues, new ways, not relying on everyone else's way to tell you which way to go and how to go and what you should be doing. In an interview with the San Jose Mercury News, he quoted the following: "The whole reason I did games was because people said, 'You can't do it.' I'm one of the guys. If you tell me I can't do something, I'll turn around and do it." In 1980, Lawson left Fairchild and founded Videosoft, a video game development company which made software for the Atari 2600. In the early 1980s, as the 2600 had displaced the Channel F as the top system in the market. 5 years later, Videosoft had closed and Lawson started to take on consulting work. At one point, he had been working with Stevie Wonder to produce a Wonder clock that would wake a child with the sound of a parent's voice, though it never made it into production. Lawson later worked with the Stanford Mentor Program and was preparing to write a book on his career. In March 2011, Lawson was honored as an industry pioneer for his work on the game cartridge concept by the International Game Developers Association. Jerry Lawson married his wife Catherine and had 2 children. But then in 2003, Lawson started having complications from diabetes, losing the use of one leg and sight from one eye. On April 9, 2011, about 1 month after being honored by the IGDA, he died of complications from diabetes. He was survived by his wife and 2 children and his brother. And finally, in conclusion, the story of Jerry Lawson is one of inspiration to many game developers that are people of color. Now, for a part of his life where people thought he was Indian, it sort of reminded me of myself when I moved back to the US in 2006, after nearly 13 years of living in the Dominican Republic when I went to college. Because when I came back here, people thought I was African American and not Hispanic. To be honest, as a human being, my color and ethnicity are hardly relevant. My outward appearance does not matter. What truly matters is my character. Now, to all the people who want to become game designers, and if that's your dream, I'm telling you this right now: chase it! Don't give up, succeed, and you shall achieve your dream to become what you want to be. Lawson did that. Just don't goof around. Study hard, and that way you can succeed to become a game designer or whatever you want to be in life. Do not depend on others, do it yourself. Do not give up. You can do this. Until next time, gamers, this is John, host of Video Games and the World. Have a good one. Bye-bye.